Stop running after people. This old woman kept one tiny habit that quietly transformed her entire life forever. Imagine a silent cottage, a chipped teacup, and a woman who rises long before sunrise without chasing anyone's approval. She never sought applause, never begged for attention, but chose one simple action each day with full intention. By noon, strangers arrived from nearby streets wanting to learn the secret behind her calm and steady happiness. In 50 years, she wrote nothing, left no notes, yet her gentle smile could soften even the heaviest hearts around. Once, an old woman lived alone on the edge of a warm village. People called her quiet, but children knew her pockets held small surprises. She kept no treasure chest, only a worn wooden stool and soft hands. In the morning, she swept her path and hummed a small melody. Folks whispered about her calm. They wanted to know her life lesson. A young man asked, "How do you stay happy through every storm?" She poured 2 cups of tea and invited him to sit. Her voice was gentle. Her eyes had learned the language of time. "Happiness," she said, "is not a trophy you find on mountains. It grows from tiny choices, like seeds planted inside your day." She told him to empty his mind for 1 minute each morning. Not funereal silence, a simple pause to notice breath and heartbeat. "Say no every day to one demand that steals your peace," she added. The boy nodded, thinking of endless tasks and other people's noise. She laughed softly. "Stop running after people, run toward your own heart." Her words felt like a map without directions, honest and practical. When grief comes, make room. Don't bury it with busy. She taught him how to fold grief into a small, known box. Each evening she wrote nothing, but she thanked 3 tiny things. Gratitude trains your eyes to catch light even on gray days. The wise old woman's story spread, but she never sought attention. Neighbors began copying her small acts. Returning bread, mending a shoe. A struggling mother found courage simply because the woman held her hand. A failing artisan restarted his work after the woman praised his patience. "Happiness isn't always loud," she told a skeptical merchant once. "It's often quiet, steady, and shows up when you stop demanding." She walked to the river, not to escape, but to remember river rhythm. Children learned to sit beside her and listen to unhurried stories. She mixed old memories with new mornings, blending lessons like tea leaves. If you want true happiness, stop measuring by what you don't have. She taught the village a simple rule: give more attention than judgment. That rule changed arguments into conversations and strangers into neighbors. A distant cousin published a clip titled, "How to Be Happy in Every Situation," an old woman's story, and people watched. The viral clip brought curious ears, but the woman remained kindly private. When asked about wealth, she pointed to hands that helped, not wallets. Your richest moments are gifts you pay forward without expecting return. Sometimes she cried for friends. Then she painted the tears into songs. Pain teaches gratitude. Gratitude teaches resilience. Resilience teaches calm joy. A youth asked, "Is happiness a skill or a miracle?" She smiled. "Both," she said, "but mostly a simple, repeatable, daily habit." She urged people to disconnect to reconnect, to phone less, feel more. "Notice the way sunlight moves across your palm," she would say. The village garden grew, not from grand plans, but patient watering. People started saying the word mindfulness without rolling their eyes. They learned to pause before buying, before gossip, before anger. Little by little, the town's noise softened into helpful humming. Tourists came for the story, but they stayed for the quiet practice. Some left notes. "You taught me to breathe between my worries." Years later, the old woman sat on her stool, smiling at sunset. She handed the young man a faded handkerchief saying, "Use this." He unfolded it and found 3 small seeds neatly sewn inside. "Plant them," she whispered, "and remember what you chose to be daily." He planted them, and tiny green shoots reminded him of her words. The seeds were ordinary. What mattered was the act of tending them. That is the quiet secret. Attention turns small acts into deep meaning. If you want happiness story that lasts, practice small kindnesses daily. Be ruthless in protecting your calm. Be generous in sharing your time. The village didn't become perfect, but it became kinder and more whole. When she passed, people planted 3 trees near her cottage. Those trees bent toward the sun, like people leaning into gentle habits. Today, anyone can learn from her. Life improves with tiny, steady choices. If you try one small habit tonight, you might meet her secret tomorrow.